So we are going to go ahead and start with the bulk of our animal, which is the body. And you can see that the body is pretty much dead center between the legs and the head. So if we take kind of the middle third of our paper, we should be okay. So I'm going to give myself kind of a Vienna sausage, maybe sort of shape. Baby carrots, one of the bigger baby carrots. And from there, we're going to have a nice arching neck that's going to go right up to the head. I'm going to curve this up here. And stick on a little circle for the head. This cranium part right here without the nose. And I'll swoop off that circle and add a little muzzle on there. And then we'll do a quick little U-turn to go back to the body. Now, if you're finding that this curve and this curve are pretty much the same, just take a look at the spacing on how close your muzzle is to the body. This deer has a very kind of sharp little turn right there where we have the muzzle fairly close to the back. But over here, nice and graceful and long. Then I'm going to go ahead and kind of flatten off the top just a little bit so it's not a basketball head. Not enough that we have a Frankenstein deer, but just so that we can get rid of that overly round skull. And before we get into any antlers, just double check real quick. Do you have about this much height above your head? If not, now would be the time to move everything down. But if you're good to go, and we take a look at these antlers, we try to look at the biggest lines first. So if I'm looking at just this antler over here, I'm looking at this big main swoop that connects to the head, just up to there. So from my deer, we're going to go in a nice big kind of S curve. Not too much an S curve, but you can see I start curving one way and then I reverse it and make a little curve the other way. And we can add this other little prong that makes a little letter Y right there, a little fork in the road. And then this next set down here is almost triangular in the way it comes out from the antler. So I'm going to sketch out kind of a triangle type angle there. And then separate that into two more prongs. That's going to help me get this little thick bit right in the middle there. And as it connects to the head, we've got this other little thick bit. This little curve here. And it doesn't matter how many lines I have inside the antler as long as I know I'm going to ink only the outline. So anything that might confuse me on the outline, I'll erase. Anything on the inside, don't even have to worry about it. I'm not even going there. this other antler, I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to start with this low one here. Because following the same logic, this was the one that had the smooth side with prongs coming out of it. So this one has the smooth side with prongs coming out of it. Same thing. I'm going to go swooping over here real shallow, real low. And then I'll add this guy on here. I want to make sure that tip is a little bit longer than this one so that we have some asymmetry going on. Quickest way to make something look like it was man-made: symmetry, evenness. Quickest way to make it look natural and organic: unevenness. Then we've got this other sort of letter Y section sticking out right here with quite a thick space, or a thicker antler right in there compared to the one on the outside. And I'm going to have it not touch any other antler. I'm also checking the heights. This one's a little bit taller than this one. Again, that unevenness, asymmetry. And again, as it comes down into the head, it gets even thicker to support that antler. So I'm going to thicken it up at the base. Again, doesn't matter how many lines you have on the inside, but you want the outside to be nice and clear since that's what you're going to be inking. You don't want to put yourself in a conundrum by not knowing which line to ink. Next, let's go ahead and add these ears. This one you can see is much thicker because it's closer to us. Bigger and thicker usually means closer. And this one over here is thinner, but very, very close to the antler. I'm going to move my little kind of slope from where the eye goes into the nose, just so that I can have that visible in my silhouette. And we also want a little bit of a distinction between the nose and the chin. So I'm going to have that nose stick out a little bit farther, and that chin is going to recede just a little bit. And I'm going to work on this back leg. This is what makes it quite dramatic. If we had all the legs just kind of sticking straight into the ground, that would be pretty boring. So from the back of the body here, you can see it's quite flat right there on the back part of the leg. So I'm going to go straight down and then curve out. And we'll have another curve in the front here that's more shallow. This is a lot like the neck that we just did, where we have one big smooth curve and then one that's a little more compact. Same thing here. I've got a big smooth curve and one back here that's a little more compact. Little bony bit back here, so I'm using a little bit straighter lines. And we want this leg to go even farther away from the body. So I'm going to curve it away. And then have a little bit at the tip. Come back forward for the hoof. If you want to double check if the legs are too long, again, you can take the size of the body, double it, and it should come to right here, right above the hoof right there.
Yeah,
But the deer are known for having long legs, so better to have a little bit longer legs than too short. If you're not sure, overshoot it just a bit. We have this teeny tiny white space in between the two back legs, so I'm going to follow this line. And then bring this foot a little more forward. Because it's farther away from us than this one, it's going to be a little bit higher on the paper. Same thing, smoother, larger, shallower curve in front, a little more compact in the back. A little bit of a point right there where there's a bony landmark. Coming back down to the hoof. And you can also add a little bit of a notch. Let me zoom in on that if you want to distinguish the hoof from the leg a little more. You can put in a little number 7. And that'll help distinguish them too. And for the front legs, we're going to go straight down, but not completely straight down because this deer doesn't have straight legs. So as we do in our other animal classes, the muscles in the shoulder actually come forward first, back a little bit, and then down. And we've got kind of that same thing happening here where we've got a bigger curve in front, more compact curve in back. And then flesh out a little hoof there. Should be on the same placement on the paper, same level on the paper as that near back foot. And for the other leg, same thing, we're curving around, coming back to the front. I'm just going to have a skinny little negative space in between the two front legs. Whoops, and that back leg and back front leg should be on the same level. So I'm going to change this a little bit, shorten that one up. And then if you'd like to add a little bump for the tail, a little raindrop, kind of hanging off the side there. I'm going to clean up my drawing, erase most of the stuff on the inside so I can get a good look at my silhouette and see if anything bothers me. This is where sometimes you'll hear about artists letting the work speak to them. It mostly just means you look at it from far away and see what bugs you. That's your work nagging at you. Change my leg, make my head bigger. move away from the tangent and other such things. So you take a breath, you sit back, and does anything look funny? I kind of think that maybe this front leg is looking a little skinny compared to that one. Maybe that one should get a little thicker. I may have to move one leg a little farther away, otherwise these two are going to merge in my silhouette. Don't like that. This back leg's looking a little bit like a horse hoof, getting a little too thick. I'm going to slender that down. But overall, shaping up to be a pretty good deer. We'll leave that up for another 3 minutes and then we'll move on to filling it in.
These legs are
yeah, the legs are pretty hard.
Yes, but we'll get good.
Yeah, and just keep fiddling with it.
It looks like they did or tried to do like real constellations on that elk's head.
Yeah.
I don't recognize any of them, but
yeah, especially the bigger stars look like they might go together.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, outline next.
Yep, next we're going to ink that outline. If you have any narration.
Speak for yourself, Kristen. Still trying to get the 2 fence posts for front legs not to be fence posts. Okay.
I don't even breathe during these classes. I'm gasping at the end.
Don't even breathe. You just hold your breath and
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like that.
If you have inking pens, great. If not, you can use pretty much any old felt tip marker or paper mate flare pen, anything that has a felt tip and is fairly thin. Even a fine tip Sharpie can do the trick in a pinch. I'm going to try to hold my pen as lightly as possible, not put any pressure, and let the pen do the work. When you're inking the antlers, remember they're going to be filled in black anyway, so better to start off a little too thin. You can always bulk them up later, but it's a little harder to thin them down once they're all filled in with black.
what you guys do in digital art today?
Oh, we had fun. Were you here last week?
Yeah, she
Did all those layers and the Gaussian thing?
Yeah, I made
the
those.
blur.
I made the blurry bunnies in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that again. So it was a repeat, much needed by me.
Oh, me too.
But no, you didn't miss any new wonders.
Yeah, no new wonders.
Well, we did some color wheel stuff that was kind of exciting.
Not really a new technique though, more just looking at colors.
Yeah, we did a monochromatic, and then we did another one that wasn't monochromatic. What was the second one called?
Complementary. We did some complementary
Complementary,
colors.
yes.
I still have them open. You can take a look, Stephanie, as soon as I share my screen here. Share screen, share screen. So we did one.
Oh, yeah, there's what we did.
Wow.
Yeah, just as a value study, just using kind of like black, white, and blue. That's it.
Yeah.
And then our other one, we added a little more color.
Oh,
And we
nice.
did red and green.
Nice.
But all the same stuff, right? All the stuff, you know.
Practice is all it
Practice.
was. So you can certainly do it any day that you have nothing else to do, which I know doesn't occur.
I'm looking. I'm looking. There might be a day. I don't plug something in like I have a tendency to do.
Oh, me too.
Today I was all ready, but I had a friend that was going through some stuff.
Hey, that only happens when it happens. So you got to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
And Betsy will always do it again.
That's right.
And I can look it up.
Don't
I can look it up. I can look it up.
It's true. It was recorded.
hmm
So you didn't miss it.
Man, what's with the sundown at 4:50?
Yeah. I'm looking at their pitch black. It's only
I-
5:30.
66 years old, and I don't remember it being.
I'm with you. They changed it this year.
Oh, so I need to ask my political friend, do we have a president?
Last I heard, we have two.
I'm confused. Okay.
We
So,
have one president and we have one president-elect, and they're both existing simultaneously. That happens all the time. It's bad behavior by some of them that is unusual. No, I guess bad behavior not all even that unusual these days.
No, not really.
Typical. But
these
what they
days
were
were
about
those
to
days. Yeah.
won't go on forever.
Okay, I'm up with you guys. I smeared my
Okay.
ink though erasing. Dang it.
Oh, well,
You
that's all right.
took-
It'll be happy accident.
Yep.
Happy accident. All right. First thing we're going to do is put in our mountain line so that we'll know which part is sky and which part is going to be land. So I'm just going to go straight for my pen. And kind of where the neckline would be, I'm going to put in a couple of mountains.
You're using a thicker pen, right? Or the same pen?
My same pen.
Okay.
And then over here too, I have a couple of mountains. And we're going to come in and do these bears. And because they are white, again, we want to draw them a little bit bigger than we think, because when you fill it in, something happens. In fact, let me show you in a little demonstration super quick. If I have two squares with two dots that are generally the same, oops, that became a little big, and we fill this one in black around it, it just visually shrinks. Whereas this one, when you fill it in, visually gets bigger.
Whoa.
Part of this is because this line does have a thickness. So if I'm filling in this side with black, it extends by that little, what, maybe millimeter? And if
Yeah.
I'm filling in this part, it's going to go all the way to that edge and get that extra little millimeter. So the difference between filling in this one black, it actually does grow about a millimeter, and this one does shrink as soon as I color around it, just because we're going to the edge of that line, not the line itself. That's kind of
And-
trippy stuff.
Boy,
You use a Sharpie, it also bleeds.
Yes, it also bleeds.
That's even worse.
Yeah, but when I'm drawing my bears, if I draw my bear head and I go, yes, this is the perfect shape, and then I start coloring around it and I start going, whoa, my bear is shrinking, that's kind of the reason why it's this visual illusion plus the line thickness kind of getting in the way. If you're more comfortable doing it in pencil, by all means, do it in pencil first. Nobody's gonna accuse you of cheating.
That's me.
So let's go ahead and let me get my
it's
bears down here.
all ready.
All right, pencil ready. I'm gonna fold this here so we can see it a little easier. There we go. Let's start with Mama Bear there. And we're going to have the swoop of her back. Kind of coming around here, this part here, and then we're gonna stick that foot out. And then we've got a foot planted firmly on the ground. tiny little line of tummy in between the front leg and the back leg. Notice that this front leg is ever so slightly lower on the paper, meaning this leg is closer to us and this leg is farther away. And then this foot, as you can see also, is higher on the paper, meaning it's farther away from us. So I'm going to go a little higher than that foot. Stick it out front. And then we'll put a head on the front here. Add some ears. Mine's getting a little messy. I'm going to clean it up here. But we're looking at those same kind of dividing angles where we have the top part of the eyebrow and we want it to change to the top of the nose. Then from the nose, we want the nose to stick out a little bit more than the chin, just like we did with the deer. And you can see with bears, they don't have a whole lot of visible difference between the level of the back and the level of the neck. They hold their head straight out front, unlike our deer who's holding the neck up, or this deer that's holding their neck up. Bears tend to go just straight across. So on my bear here, my head might be a little high or my back not high enough. So I'm just going to even that out. Then for the first little cub, same thing. I'm going to get that general slope from the back to the back leg, which is being stuck way out in back. Oh, I think I got to make it even smaller. It's getting a little big here. Coming to the head hangs down. So I'm going to give myself a little oval, kind of showing where his head's hanging down. Start sketching out that bent foot, or bent leg, I should say. We don't want a bent foot. Oh, getting squishy in here.
Who's watching The Mandalorian?
I saw the first like 4 episodes and then my Disney Plus ran out. So that's where it had to stop.
I don't have Disney Plus, so I've seen 0. But that's all right.
Is it getting good though?
Oh, second season.
Second season's better.
Second episode.
Oh.
Oh, it was good.
Well, maybe as a Christmas present, we'll get another month of it and catch up.
I don't know why it's good either. I think we're having Mandalorian parties.
Really?
Yeah. So we're having, my grandson said, Granny, why don't we have a Mandalorian hot tub party?
Yeah.
That's what we did last week. It was fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And we take turns at different adult children's houses.
Mm-hmm.
It's way fun.
Does everybody have a hot tub?
They take turns. Because mine's a little hot tub.
No, I meant all the adult kids.
No, adult kids. Only one got in this time. We set up chairs in the garage. And when my daughter did it, she, there's a little Yoda called the Child. And
Yeah, I've seen
Baby
him.
Yoda, yeah.
green. So she had green deviled eggs with his ears, green cake pops.
Oof, I don't think my pencil is sharp enough to get into these nooks and
And
crannies.
little tiny ones.
Little tiny one here. But if it gets messed up, you just black it out, right? We learned that from day one. If it doesn't work out, you black it out.
Thank goodness. Yeah, I like this.
Well, I'm glad I did this in pencil because
Yeah.
the first one wasn't very good, or many of the lines had to be adjusted.
Yeah, my one, the little one looks like a rabbit more than a bear. So this one's better.
So as I was saying with this line making things look bigger and smaller than they actually are, when I go to ink this, I'm going to try to leave the white and the line inside of my inked line. So for instance, I'm not going to go right on top of the pencil. I'm going to go right next to the pencil to try to save this whole shape inside. And it might get pudgy looking, but once you fill in the black around it, you can always thin it down. Can't make it bigger.
Okay, so that one looks like a guinea pig. I don't care. It's Stag.
Well, if you can get your mama bear looking pretty much like a bear, I'm sure most people will assume the other animals following it. Baby bears.
And if the mama looks like a guinea pig, well, most
Yeah, then they're
will
all
simply
guinea
assume
pigs.
so.
Yeah. You
And
can
that's
have some guinea
okay.
pigs.
Yeah. At drawing around the outside, I found myself trying to preserve little white spaces. I'm going, no, those are going to be black. Don't preserve those. Preserve the inside ones.
So pretty much anything that is ground and below is solid black. You can color that in at your leisure. And then we've got this row of trees that's going to be in front of our mountain. So I'm just going to start putting the heights of my trees as skinny little lines. I'm going to try to make them all different, or at least have them alternate or be spaced out so I don't clump all the short trees together and all the tall trees together. We get some variation in the heights here. Variations in the spacing also. We don't just want tree, 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 tree like it's planted in an orchard. We want it wild and free, untamed wilderness. Yeah, kind of Christmassy, but not.
Yeah, I went shopping today and it's crowded out there.
Oh my goodness, already?
Don't go. People were bailing out of the lines because the lines were
Oh, yeah.
so long and so slow, and we looked at each other and some people were going, not worth it. Which I understood, except I was getting a present for the cat. Well, had to proceed.
I thought it was just because it was the first day of Kohl's Bucks. I went to Kohl's because that's where they said the Mandalorian child T-shirts were.
Ah.
I haven't been in that store in over a year. Then I bought a saucepan because I'm tired of eating the Teflon chipping off my other one. And $35 for a saucepan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to the thrift store, and I returned it today and thought maybe I could buy it back with my Kohl's bucks.
Mm-hmm.
They said it wasn't allowed.
Oh.
So I think that's why. Senior Day and Kohl's Buck Day. I didn't have to work long. But you were right. I was surprised all those people were bailing into.
Right back to, I never want to go back to normal.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with no crowds, no traffic.
Yeah, I'm real happy with that.
Kids like Betsy and my grandkids though, because they say they're fine. They got their social media and
Yeah, honestly, it's not too bad. The only thing I really miss is playing Dungeons and Dragons in real life. That it's been hard over Zoom. Like just visiting friends, the people you like, right?
those old. I do it anyway.
Oh, and my one friend, she's got like a permanent trach and severe scoliosis and like that. She's really, really susceptible.
Not her.
Yeah, so she's the one that usually hosts D&D, and she can't do that right now. We completely understand.
Right.
I know. Lodi put out a thing. The book group or needle group or whatever was meeting with masks on, but they put a note out. So I think my Mexican train. One of the girls is coughing, but it's residual. And she's COVID negative. She was checked.
Yeah.
They still don't want to meet because of it. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get other stuff done I want to do.
The best, hands down, is all this gas money I'm saving, not going to Sac State, boy.
Yeah.
That's almost $200 worth of gas.
My granddaughter, though, couldn't get into her Delta College today. A lot of glitches.
So she couldn't get in online.
Yeah, she couldn't get in online.
Ugh.
So, and she's in a math course that requires a paper submitted every day.
Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be hard because, it's a whole new excuse then the dog ate it.
Yeah.
The internet was down.
Yep, internet was down. My Zoom wasn't working.
She's not a math, she's that artist girl. So math is a struggle.
I feel that.
And I said, why are you taking statistics first? No, that's what they said.
That was the darkest days of my life. Probability and statistics. I mean, granted, I didn't have a good teacher. Like, if I had a good teacher makes all the difference. But my teacher kind of checked out of this whole pandemic online thing, and I was pretty much on my own.
That's a shame because statistics are so powerful, so you
Yeah.
can get them.
Yeah.
If you even get some hints, then you can navigate the real world.
Yeah, the actual information of having to get these statistics was very helpful. Just the way that I had to struggle on my own to figure them out was not fun.
She's got a tutor, which helps.
Oh yeah, that helps a lot.
I'm glad she.
But again, they have to be good too.
Yeah, if it's a good tutor.
She's like, honey, you're so lucky this is online because you can pause and go.
Yes.
You can.
That is really nice when taking notes and just pause that lecture and write it down at your own speed.
Yeah, look back.
So these trees, as you can see, are a little more sparse than the kind of Christmas tree cookie cutter type shape that we usually do, so that, you know, we can see a little bit of that mountain stippling in the background. So when I do my trees here, we're not going to do too much more than just these really spaced out kind of branches. Every once in a while I want to throw in a double or maybe something that's a little longer, just so that we keep that organic look. Don't worry too much about how they look near the base. As you can see, it all kind of fades into blackness as we have that stippling effect going upward also. But the tops of the trees are going to be the ones that are the most visible. So we want those to be nice and clean and tree looking by putting those branches very far apart. Nice clear silhouette. You might even want a thinner pen for this. I know I do. Next week, it's going to be student's choice. For our inking, I'm going to have some photographs of animals and some little, like, what do you call them? I just want to call them menus of the different kinds of mountains we've done, the different kinds of trees we've done.
Oh, neat.
And then you get to fill it up however you like, while I'm here to answer any and all questions.
Next week, our last evening class.
It is, and then we take our winter break.
Winter break?
Yep.
Fancy.
Oh, unless you guys want to do a pandemic special. You have to ask Kristen about that. But
Winter break.
yeah, usually we take December off just because usually people are so busy getting ready for the holidays, seeing people, doing finals, whatever it is, testing.
Yeah,
Used to be parties.
Yeah, used to be parties and all like
No
that.
more.
I had a party Monday.
We had a birthday. That's what counts.
Yeah, I went into Rancheria and say, "Can I please have my free money to play with?" I haven't been there until my other friend had a birthday there. That's where I learned about it. 2 years ago. They said, "Your card is expired. Let me get you a new." Oh, okay. And it took like 3 of us to figure out how to even use the machine. It was so silly.
Not really though. Those machines. Osh.
They're complicated. Half the time you don't know if you've won or lost.
Yeah.
And I almost forgot to use my free money. My daughter said, "Mom, where's that free money?" I thought it was a voucher that I had put in.
Mm-hmm.
It was still on my card. I almost walked out of there with that.
They love people like you.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Hardcore gamblers.
I was thinking people who forget their money.
Free money, you know?
Yeah, even.
Now this is going to be interesting. I put a bear up high because I swear.
Is your bear floating off the ground? Is that what I heard?
Well, no, Do I put the black up higher? I wonder.
Yeah, the black is definitely going to fade. So you can see in our original here, it almost goes around the bears anyway, and then like fades out with the stippling.
Okay, so do that. All right.
Yeah, so it's fine if you've got more black creeping up here.
A rabbit again. What are you doing with the stippling? Okay, you put a black around the bear, then stippling, huh?
Yeah, just to kind of fade it out into the trees.
So after winter break, do we know what we're doing?
This class is going to turn into teacup dragons. So we're going to learn.
Haven't we done that before?
We did one dragon with a teacup when we were doing painting dragons.
Oh,
Oh, I knew I had seen them before.
Yeah, so
sure.
we had done them once
Acrylics.
before. But I'm hoping that by the end of the class, you'll be able to take a teacup that you own, set it on the table and draw it, and add your little dragon on the inside. My ideal is that we'll use either watercolor pencils or watercolor, but if not everybody has that, I can also do just colored pencil, which seems to be a little bit more common. Beginning tablet's still going to be tablet, but we're going to be focusing pretty much on what we've been doing lately with the blurring of the layers and doing like silhouettes, almost shadow puppet style. There's a really great artist that does a bunch of Indiana Jones in all silhouettes, and they're fabulous. We're going to take inspiration from that and do some silhouette art on the tablet. What else we have coming up? Fridays are going to be Dungeons and Dragons still. And then the basic class, I think that's a beginning drawing class. I haven't actually decided the topic. I just know we need a basic drawing class. I was thinking maybe underwater kingdoms or outer space. Something kind of general. There's kind of a like win or lose whenever I pick something that's like, let's say Pokemon or, Mandalorian, or I tried one with an anime called BNA. It was all the rage on Instagram, all the rage. So I went, oh, this will be great. All the kids will be coming in for this BNA anime. They're all like, not a soul came. And I'm thinking, let's maybe not use what's trending. That doesn't seem to work. Go a little bit more generic sci-fi or fantasy. I think I've been going pretty heavy on fantasy lately though, so I thought maybe a little sci-fi in the new year. Still a whole 30 minutes left. The only other thing technique-wise is you can see that there's also stippling on the mountain to kind of give it some differentiation on these like rolling parts of the mountain here. If you don't want to do all that stippling, of course you can do our technique where we have just kind of a line splitting it down the middle, and you can put the stripes on one side to do it quicker. So if you want to give that a go, all the dots All the dots lining up in kind of these little cone shapes, just pointing to the top of each mountain.
Are the antlers filled in?
Yes, they are. They have some stars in there if you want to have the stars go all the way up into the antlers. But they are pretty much filled in black.
So the sky over the butt and the head is all it's all stars.
All stars.
I can have a lot more sky, but that's different animal. Okay, fine. There you have.
Oh, that is nice music.
Yeah, relaxing, chilly night music.
For 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Big.
That's what makes it really hard to get anything done during the day. It's so short.
Yeah.
I have to get up earlier.
It's dark then too.
Yeah, it's still dark and serious.
You got a point there. Did you get your cat? Did you
One
got
of
your?
those cardboard scratching things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They love those. My cats do.
My cat just uses my couch.
Well, yeah.
Is it that shabby chic look? I think that's what my daughters called it. I wonder where Michaela is. Is she in the
Yeah.
teaching class?
No?
Nope.
Just about 20 minutes left.
Supposed to get rain Friday. I saw on my.
No, I'm so excited. Will it really happen?
So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got my 3 bears.
Excellent.
Oh, look at you. You're almost done.
Oh,
well, that's all right.
That's okay. I gotta be quicker so you guys can know what it's supposed to look like.
That's true. We need to know.
I like that if you think something's a little too narrow, you can just add black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nice. Kind of like sculpting, you know?
It is very much so. The more mediums I try out, the more styles I find that it's all just the same, just with specific little changes that are enough to make it difficult. Once you get over that initial hump, it's a lot of the same. My mom used to compare it to learning a musical instrument. Once you get over learning how to read music, you can switch from piano to violin and you'll have that retention of the songs that you know. You just have to learn how to make your hands do what you need them to do.
Yeah.
Very, very similar in art. I know I want this to be thicker. How do I do that with the medium I'm using?
I get something new to look at every week.
Every week
Nice.
for free.
That's the best price ever.
Next week I'll probably bring some pictures of cats and chameleons and rabbits and
The zoo.
the zoo.
We should have some dogs.
Yeah, maybe some dogs in there. I didn't feel like this was a real dinosaur crowd. I might leave those alone.
Watch, next week you'll have all those boys in their hot rods and cars.
Yeah. The other thing that typically happens is it'll be the last day, everybody do your own thing, and somebody brand spanking it'll come in. All right, well, let me teach you everything you've been learning for the last 11 weeks.
Well, here's an example for you.
Oh, let's see. There we go. I don't think I've ever.
Oh my gosh, he's a giant.
Yeah.
My old
Wow.
Charlie.
Is that one
My
of your
goodness.
eggs?
Now this isn't out of the eggs. I'll go get those in a minute.
He's a giant, isn't he? Cute?
Yeah, he's a lot larger than I thought he'd be. Wow.
They come out about the size of a pea.
Wow.
This is one.
Oh. That was one of them from the eggs?
Yeah,
Wow. They grow up fast.
he's only about 4 months old.
He
My
lost
goodness.
his tail. Part of his
This one
tail.
has a kink.
Oh
in it.
no, he's got it.
Oh, he's
The
got a
other
little
one lost its tail. The one that likes to bite me.
Four
Cute little
months.
toes.
That's just shocking. Look how cute.
I'll definitely get
And
some.
she really changes colors when I put her under a grow lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she'll turn neon green.
Wow.
No. I'm like, oh,
Oh, done already? Let's take a look. Oh, look how precious that came out.
Oh,
Lovely.
looks like it belongs on a Christmas sweater.
It does. It
Good.
does. It reminds me when you're done, but there
Let's
it
take
is.
a look.
Whoa.
Oh, it's getting there though. I like those mountains.
Yeah, those mountains are really good, Kristen.
I like the mountains too. Now, if I can just make the rest match.
Yeah. That's the hard
That's
part.
like you get one eye that you think you've done really good, and then you
The
gotta
other
make
doesn't
another
match.
eye.
Yeah, you gotta draw the other eye.
What, baby boy? What?
And don't forget, Hatch is going to make some 3D etchings for us of your favorite one. You gotta get those in too.
Oh, that looks good. I like that shooting star on the.
Yeah, I tried to
Oh,
get a
it's
shooting star in
wonderful.
there.
Look at those bears. They're so cute.
Bears fit on hers. I had to carry.
I have this one leg that's getting a little too thin there. I don't know whether to make this one match. Maybe we'll make it match a little bit. But it's fine. It's done. Once you sign it, it's done.
Right, you have to stop. Things can get worse.
Really, I was just fixing something after I signed. I didn't know that rule. Sorry.
No. That's what I just try to keep myself so I don't just endlessly nitpick at it. No, move on. It's signed, it's done.
Turn the page.
Next.
Yep, turn the page.